Okay. Hey y'all. Again, I'm trying to get my microphone settings right. I don't know if y'all can hear me very clearly. I don't know what to give it. But I'm going to turn this down some. Try to situate myself and present to y'all today's EP. Today's EP is definitely shorter than all the other ones that we've been dropping. It is 1 a.m. right now. Y'all, I'm pumping these EPs out. I'm trying to be consistent. I'm trying to be um I don't know the word I'm looking for, but I'm trying, y'all. That's what I'm getting at. I'm being consistent, posting and stuff, you know, putting my mind to it and actually just, you know, being my best. Because if I'm capable of doing it, instead of sitting on TikTok and scrolling on Instagram, I could be recording and posting these EPs. And that's what I'm doing, putting my mind to it. So I'm just trying to get this EP out for today, day 8. And then I will be lying down and getting ready for work in the morning. But today's EP is something quick, something more like a little interlude or jewels dropped just to kind of prepare us for this week. This is week 2 of our 30-day run. It's day 8. We are doing amazing, immaculate. Week 1 was very successful. I posted all 7 days and I pushed those EPs out. I worked around making plans. I still was able to be outside and have fun, but still get my priorities done and, you know, really show myself what all I can do and what all I can accomplish when I put my mind towards something. See, it's like, okay, y'all, just little technical difficulties. It's like I'm trying to talk where it hears me loudly without like all the popping when I do say words with P's or stuff like that. But anyways, today's EP is the P's of Purpose. So we're gonna talk about the P's of Purpose, all the different things that go into purpose, what we define purpose to be, and what God defines purpose to be. So the P's of purpose is purpose, peace, power, patience. I'm going to say it again. Purpose, peace, power, and patience. Purpose equals grind. Power equals self-control. Patience equals steadiness. Steadfast decisions and choices. And peace equals rest. So we're going to talk about a little on each topic, and then that's literally the EP for today, and I'm going to bed. But let me see. Y'all, don't mind me playing around with the music. I'm just trying to figure things out. And we're being transparent. I'm showing y'all that just because I'm a podcaster don't mean that I got a perfect production, everything's going smoothly. Nope. It's just me. It's just me doing the music, writing, and speaking. So y'all bear with me. I got this. I'm figuring it out and I'm finding my flow. But we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna start with purpose. Purpose is your grind and willingness to sacrifice. We already talked about in previous episodes about sacrificing and how peace and obtaining peace comes with sacrificing. But we haven't really talked on purpose and what we think. We kind of mentioned like finding your hustle, finding your purpose, finding what's for you. But we're going to talk about what God says purpose is. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get the mic settings right. Okay, y'all. That's better. But so we're gonna start with purpose. And I was just really searching for like a topic today, and I was like going through my notes because periodically throughout life I type in my notes, or if I'm at church I type in my notes, or like just key things that I hear that stem my thinking or creativity, I'll put it in my notes. So I came across this message from church that talked about how purpose isn't petty. And we already talked about intentions and stuff like that. But we're going to just highlight how it says God has provided you with the will and the ability to do so. Apply yourself. And he said, be obedient and give me your first fruit, and I will multiply it. So within your purpose and within having hustle and grind, do it with good intentions, but also like how they say, don't just praise God when things going good, praise him when things are hitting the fan too. So even in your hustle and your grind, give thanks back. Like I prayed really hard to get in the position of life that I'm in as far as my grind, my creativity, and just the yearn to want to do more. So now that I'm here, now that I'm grinding out and I'm feeling the creativity, I'm feeling all of the thoughts flowing, and I'm able to get on the pod and speak, it's like I gotta still give thanks to God. Like, oh my God, thank you for blessing me with this message. Thank you for blessing me with the ability to just do and be consistent, and the ability to be able. So thank God for my purpose. Seek God first. Many battles you don't win because of your own disobedience. It messes up everything that God has planned for you. Purpose is not about what happened, but why. So it talked about obedience, and we already talked about doing things intentionally, doing things out of fruitfulness, doing things unwavering. Unwavering is obedience. When God says move and this is for you, take that jump. When you know that you're not supposed to be doing something that doesn't serve you, be obedient to the purpose, be obedient to the grind, be obedient to the passion. Purpose is not pettiness. Petty always wants to know what happened so I can do this, do this, do this. When God said vengeance is mine, purpose is wanting to know why. Why do you think like this? Why do you do the things that you do? Why do you do things that you know is gonna make me mad? Why do you do intentional spiteful things that's hurt? Purpose is about the why. It's about understanding or gaining a sense of understanding. Even if it's not good, understanding that everything works out for your good because it's done with purpose. Like I said in the previous EP, God said, I have your life written out 400 years in advance. So everything God does is purposeful. Everything happens to you for a reason. Whether it's good, bad, makes you happy, makes you sad. It's just the principle of, well, if this didn't follow through, then it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't for me. It wasn't what God intended for me. But if it works out, then great. Celebrate, do as you please. But that's purpose. So then we're going to go to patience, because within your purpose, within your grind, you got to have patience. You got to have discipline and patience. You got to be steady. Understand that things are not going to happen overnight. Things are not going to transpire overnight. It's just unrealistic. I've been doing this pod stuff or just the brand stuff in general since 2023. So it's been 3 years since 2026. And I've been inconsistent, but I've been doing it and I've been sticking with it. But I've been patient with myself. And like we talked about, steadfast practices, just doing things no matter what the circumstances or what's going on in your environment, doing things out of purpose. And I know that if I do this, I'm going to have a greater outcome here. I know that if I put my mind towards this, I'll gain something here. Like with me, I know that if I do the 30-day run, that it teaches me how to be consistent, how to create habits, how to install urgency to, get up and sit and record and write and do things towards the pod. It's intentional. Now we're gonna go to power. We highlighted in the last EP that power is ordained as self control in God's eyes, or is deemed as self control, a form of power. God sees the fact that you are willing to have control over your feelings, your mind, and the one, your humbleness and understanding that it's out of your control. Power is in self control. Power, it takes a very strong somebody to walk away from something that's just irritating them or icking them or, and not retaliating, talking bad, or saying nothing, just simply applying boundaries and removing themselves and having that self control to just be better in aspects of their lives that they know that they can be. And if that takes removing something that's negative, then that's fine. If you're the negativity and they remove you, that was their choice and they have the power to do that. So within your grind, don't take your power and your gift for granted because God gives us all these things. God gives you purpose. And I learned that. I learned that the hard way. Do not take your purpose for granted. When He gives you something, you maintain it and you manage it and you harvest it. Don't just take it, boast about it, be self righteous. Understand that the same way He gives you something, He can strip you from it immediately. And the fact that I was out of touch, I couldn't even uproot any type of nothing to give to the brand. That my brain wasn't even there. And I prayed my way out of those patterns of inconsistency because they didn't serve me. Nothing from that was beneficial to Megan. None of that stuff was beneficial to Megan. So, taking back your power within your grind, but not taking it for granted. Be wise, be humble, be vulnerable. Be vulnerable before God in the midst of your grind, understanding that He's blessed you with that. So give thanks back to Him in all things that you do. And then we have peace. Peace is rest. Don't outwork God's plan for your life. You know, be consistent within your season of rest. And when He blesses you with seasons of rest, where you're supposed to sit and, maybe redirect your mind, redirect your thinking, don't seek distractions. And I probably told this story on the pod before where one of my teachers told me, like, God blesses you with seasons of rest where you're supposed to prepare for the next season that He's going to place on your life, but you seek distractions because you're so used to taking things and conquering it, and, you're so used to having something going on in your space that you don't know rest and peace when you see it. And that's very important. That was very valuable in my life. So when I realize I'm in a season of peace where things are calm and steady, I appreciate it and I value it. I don't outwork God's plans. I don't outwork the things that He have for me. I don't outwork, myself. Like before I posted these EPs today, I took a nap. I had to. Even though it's 2 a.m. and I'm up recording right now and I'm going to drop it and get ready for tomorrow, I had to take that nap earlier. So just be steady. Pace yourself. Find peace in the midst of your grind. You know, don't outwork your mind, body, nor your spirit. Because you outwork it and you'll break it. But within me, the blessing was in the breaking. And this is also stemming from the sermon that I took notes from. Prayers is your coming to agreement with God. All that left me wasn't meant to stay. All that stayed wouldn't leave. And that just basically means no matter what, how broken, how happy, how good, how bad, God makes us with a purpose. So everything happens for a reason. And sometimes God breaks your heart to bless your harvest. Find purpose in prayer and find power in your purpose. And again, this is not just like a walk with Jesus type of season, but it is for me. But it's not like I'm trying to make y'all, just like the monks. The monks walked for peace. I'm just walking with the Lord because that's who sacrifices things for me. That's who goes to war with me. That's who, stands behind me and back me in all things that I do and put my mind towards. That's who gives me validation. That's who gives me life. That's who gives me peace. That's who gives me power. I'm so close to what He has for me. I can't do nothing but exude it in the brand, on the pod. Tell the people that, like, y'all, I would be nothing without God. All the two-parent household, American dream, white picket fence lifestyle. Yeah, that ain't it. I will be nothing without God. Without a mom, without a dad, I got God. Without anybody in my space, without anybody speaking life into me, without anybody doing anything, I have God. When I'm alone and got no teacher to call on, no parent to call on, no sibling, no friend, I have God. And this is real. When I'm in my room crying by myself, wiping my tears, I pray and God transforms my heart and changes my mind. And gives me a peace in the midst of the storm. He gives me quietness. What? And that's really all I have to say, y'all. Today's Monday. It's time for, a new week. This week, we're moving our bodies. We're going to do some yoga. So y'all probably get a few reels. We're going to work out. We're going to really stretch, get our mind, moving with our body. Because last week we was just stretching our minds, acknowledging, getting back in the flow. But this week we're withholding the flow, maintaining it, keeping it going, but adding things to it. So this week we're moving our body and, we're going to get outside because it's been beautiful outside. And that's for everybody. Y'all go lift some weights. Y'all go, do some yoga, do a little Zumba, maybe dance a little, something. Move your body. Get up. That's the whole thing. Get up. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Everybody. So, I'm tired, y'all. I gotta work tomorrow. I will also see y'all tomorrow and get with y'all tomorrow. But I love everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being patient. And thanks for, just being present with the conversation and giving me space to grow within my craft and giving me grace that I'm not perfect and that I don't have it all figured out and my production is not all that great, but giving me grace for the fact that I'm trying and I'm putting forth the energy to even create something, you know? So, yes, I love everybody. This one was a little shorter, but I'm going to bed. Good night.